Good morning, Pantsers. This week is the week we talk about where we live. I've already pretty much told you guys everything there is to know about where I live. Nothing much has really changed. I still live in the same place, and the place is pretty much the same as it was 2 years ago when I told you about it the first time. That's the problem with living in the middle of nowhere. I mean, nothing really changes. If I lived in a city, at least there would be different things, there would be more things, there would be stuff that I could tell you about. I was going to try and get some footage of the actual town while I still had light earlier today, but that didn't really work out. So here instead is a very short clip of the road I live on. I was thinking earlier today about living here. I've lived here my whole life. Well, basically my whole life. I was born here, and I've lived here since I was 3. There was a short while there in between where I lived some other places. My mom grew up here. My grandmother moved here when she was a teenager. So I have a lot of history here, you know. This is where my family is from. And I've lived here my whole life. This is the only place that I can ever remember having lived. And, you know, it's home, and I don't hate it, but I do often wish that I lived somewhere else. It can be very stifling living here, and I say that not because it's a small town. I don't think that small towns are intrinsically bad places to live, or that they are necessarily stifling, but this one certainly can be, and sometimes I feel very stifled living here. If I could figure a way to get out, I would. Sometimes I'm not sure what tone I should take these vlogs in, you know what I mean? I want to be, you know, honest about what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling and all of that kind of thing, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure how to approach things sometimes. I'm not sure how best to articulate what I'm feeling. I struggle with how to talk about things that make me sad or things that make me upset here without being self-pitying. I guess basically what I want to say about this place is it's home, but I would like to go somewhere else, and I don't know how to do that. It's complicated. The interesting thing about this topic is how much moving around people have done since the collab started, since we first made our videos about where we lived. Some of those people I suppose aren't around anymore, and I suppose some of you probably won't make videos for this week. But still, it's interesting to think about how much the collab has shifted geographically from place to place since we started. I think I have something like this in my treasure box, she said, turning it over in her hand. I found it out here in the woods, too. Well, not here. It was down the path a little way, I think, over by the creek. But it looked a lot like this. What is it? Asked Christoph. I mean, where is it from? Neither Alexandra nor Gregory had any idea. Alexandra ran back to the cottage for her coin, but when they compared them, it was clear that they were not exactly the same. Alexandra's coin was octagonal instead of round and had a ridged edge instead of a smooth one. And it was worn into facelessness, whereas the design on Gregory's had been scratched out. But they were the same oddly small size, and they were both made from the same lightweight, dull brown metal.